Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about another YouTube decision that is absolutely pointless. Now, YouTube, for the last few years, they've been making these random changes to everything on the website. Now, some of the things that they've done, granted, are pretty decent, right? But also at the same time, a pretty good portion of what they're doing not only is so unnecessary, but it's so unpopular at the same time. So, for instance, in the last couple of years, they've changed up the entire UI of the platform. A lot of users think it's way worse. Personally, I think I have to agree. They've hidden the public like to dislike counts on YouTube videos so that, back in the day, you used to be able to see the bar that would show you how much of the video was likes and dislikes. That's all gone, right? We can't have people seeing that. They just make all of these random changes that just fucking suck if we're putting it fairly, right? Now YouTube has gotten the bright idea after the entire platform gave them backlash for the like to dislikes disappearing. They've now decided that they are going to remove all of the view counts from the home feed over the next however long it takes for these new changes to roll out. Usually YouTube, they kind of like test things in phases, right? So, some users in select markets or people who opt in to like check out beta features or whatever, maybe they get the rollout, and then after like 2 or 3 months of gathering feedback and tweaking it, then they'll kind of roll it out more broadly. Well, apparently right now this test is being done to basically see what would happen if all of the videos in your home feed, and I would assume also in like the searching and everything on the platform, what would happen if these videos didn't have view counts, right? Well, I'm sure I know exactly what you're thinking here, right? Because I feel like most people seeing this change all agree it's completely fucking pointless, and not only that, but it actively serves to make the platform worse. So I guess this is a screen cap. This is from Drama Alert here. I guess this is a screen cap that basically shows how everything will look on YouTube once this change is more broadly implemented, and I mean, it looks so uncanny. It looks so weird, right? I mean, for as long as I can remember, and I've been using YouTube for the majority of the time that it's existed, right? There's been view counts and things like that just publicly available, and there's so many reasons why public view counts matter so much. There's so many reasons why, even like back to the like to dislike thing, right? There's so many reasons why information and metrics like that being publicly visible are so important. So I'm gonna assume that the idea behind this, and feel free to let me know what you think down in the comments, but my idea on why YouTube is doing this, I really think it's like two things, okay? Now, number one, this is the less sinister idea that I have about it, but I think YouTube and realistically all of these social media companies and all these brands and whatnot, right? They keep thinking that this like super sleek modern design where, everything's got rounded edges and the colors are muted or dulled down and, the numbers aren't on the screen and it's just super simple touch feel fucking UI, right? Everyone thinks that that's like the way to go now, right? Because companies like Apple have popularized it and made it look great or whatever. But I think that when everybody does it, it comes to this point where it's like a generic bland feel. And I think YouTube is just trying to go the route of like modernizing the platform. Because in reality, companies like YouTube, they have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of global employees. And the chain of command, I think, is so far out of whack that they probably have literally just thousands of employees in the company who are doing pretty much nothing in their day-to-day jobs, right? They're not actually working. They're not building the fucking network. They're not making sure the video content is good. They're not working with the, advertisers or whatever, right? That's not what everyone there is doing. So I think we're at a point where they just have to like justify keeping these people around in some instances by just making minute, stupid fucking changes, okay? Now, I think that's a problem with a lot of companies, and I think that's also part of the reason why, especially in tech, over the last couple years, there's been this gradual reduction of like the bloat in workforces. Because, they tried to scale all this shit so fast, and YouTube is an example too. It's growing so fast, even being the biggest platform for video. And so they constantly think they have to meet these new projections for growth and stuff. And I think in some instances, there's obviously fluctuation in that. And it creates situations like this where, yeah, there's bored employees sitting there like, well, my job today is to figure out if the corners need to be rounder or if the numbers need to go away. And realistically, like, they shouldn't have this many people doing shit like this. Now, the other reason I think that this is also being pushed by YouTube to a degree is because I think that it actually accelerates their revenue. know what I mean? I think that this is actually beneficial for them financially. Now, let me explain that. So, like, obviously, most users, they don't use ad blockers or they don't have YouTube Premium, so they're viewing YouTube with advertisements. That's how everybody on the platform makes money. Well, I'm assuming that YouTube, you know, by taking away the view count so that you can't, like, publicly gauge a video based on the metrics, I think they assume that that will mean more people will, like, click videos because they're intrigued and they want to, like, see if the video is really a surprise or if it's good or whatever. And obviously, when people are clicking videos with no ad blockers or no premium, they're going to see ads, which means YouTube makes money. Now, this is something that happens regardless if the video is good or if the video is bad, whatever, right? So, hypothetically, someone clickbaiting and, you know, trying to cheat or whatever the system, they could probably, I think, see a little bit of a benefit from something like this. And the thing is in the past, YouTube has tried to fight clickbaity content so much, right? They've tried to, you know, build the ad guidelines around it and punish it in the algorithm and stuff like that. But the thing is as a long-term YouTube user, and I'm sure, once again, many of you feel the same way here, right? We use information like this to gauge a video, to see if it's worth our time. So, you know, when you clicked on a video in 2015, let's just say that, right? And you saw the like to dislikes, and you saw the public view count that was somewhat accurate, and you could read through all of the comments, you could pretty much within a few seconds gauge if a video was like some clickbait bullshit or if it was actually like something worth watching, you know? Well, YouTube is gradually removing all of these features, right? They've just, over these years, they've taken all this shit away. Now you can't see the like to dislike ratio. And as of this update that's coming out, they're experimenting with you not being able to see the view count. So those are probably the two previous biggest indicators of a video's quality immediately for a viewer, and YouTube has removed them. So I think that honestly, that could really lead to this massive surge in the platform of clickbaity, bullshit, even like almost fraudulent content in a way, right? Now, obviously, I think there's still algorithmic checks in place to make sure that stuff like that doesn't blow up on YouTube. For instance, like if people are only watching like 3 seconds of an 8-minute long video, the viewer retention is cooked and that's gonna hurt it. So I think there's still things like that, but even then, YouTube at this point is like actively working against all of that progress that they built up. And really, I don't understand, like, I think they also think that like, well, as creators, they probably would feel a lot better if we started hiding these metrics. I guess their idea also too with like the whole, oh, we got to take care of the community stuff. Creators feel burnout, and there's also like this thing obviously where creators, you know, if you have a couple bad videos, right, view-wise, just like 5 straight videos go 10 out of 10. A lot of people feel discouraged or upset when shit like that happens. And so I think that the feedback from some of them has been like, oh, I wish that when I opened up YouTube, I didn't see my view counts being bad, or I didn't see that subscribers aren't growing, or I don't see that I'm making a lot of money. I think that now YouTube is starting to kind of coddle them, or they think that they're coddling them by being like, oh, let's make sure that, you know, these people aren't getting their feelings hurt by these numbers. And I know this might sound a little weird, but like, I feel like maybe if you're a creator, you'll understand what I'm saying a little bit better than like an average viewer maybe, but YouTube is obviously kind of trended in that way where they're like trying to prioritize creator health or whatever, right? And I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think that they're doing it in the wrong ways, because doing changes like this where, you know, maybe they think that they're making creators feel better because maybe, you know, they're not quote unquote glamorizing their failures or whatever. I honestly that creates a negative effect on the creator, not even just with their mental health, because in reality, all of these metrics like still get shown to the creator. I mean, you can sit there and be upset, you know, that your likes aren't good or whatever, but I mean, that's just something you have to deal with. But I think that it's also getting it to a point where like they're trying to shelter some creators in that method away from the realities of being a creator, because part of being a creator is like, oh, well, I'm in a slump. My videos aren't doing too hot right now. You know, maybe you're losing subs, or maybe you had a bad video people didn't like or whatever, right? And that shit happens. But for whatever reason, YouTube is moving in a direction where they kind of want to hide this shit from people. They don't want people to be able to look at it. And it just doesn't make sense, because hiding it from the viewers just harms their usage of the website, and then trying to hide it for the creator's sake just makes the creators overly dependent on the platform to handle simple shit for them when they don't need it. It's just such a stupid overall decision that in reality, I don't think anything is going to change about it, right? It's like the like to dislike ratio thing, man. I mean, we raised hell about that situation as a community. So many people from all different communities on YouTube talked about it, and pretty much universally, everybody in the YouTube audience fucking hated that decision, right? But even then, even though it was like one of the biggest topics of that year for YouTube and it was like a huge deal and everything, YouTube didn't turn around and change it. You know, they didn't say, fuck it, let's listen to the fans for once. They continued forward with that decision, and I think this is really the same thing. I think we're at a point on YouTube where there will always be this existential disconnect between the platform and the creators. And not even just the platform and the creators, but the platform and its audience as well. Everything about YouTube is now prioritized corporately, which I get, you know, it's a billion-dollar enterprise, it's owned by Google, it's massive, right? But even then, there is no compromise from this company when it comes to how they handle everyday tasks, you know? They act like, oh, we want everyone's feedback, we want to hear what you guys have to say, we take your opinions seriously, folks. But then, like, you know, I'm not saying it's got to be my video that makes the change, but like, just for example, when I make a video, no one gives a fuck at YouTube, right? When any other commentator makes a video, right? No one at YouTube gives a fuck. Even if like PewDiePie came out tomorrow and was like, hey, this is a stupid decision, YouTube wouldn't give a fuck, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things that they're gonna shoehorn into everybody's feed regardless. And yeah, I mean, we can sit here and be like, wow, this sucks, YouTube's doing it again, but I mean, I don't want to say we're wasting our breath because obviously everyone wants to contribute to the platform and make it better, but we're just at a point where YouTube as a corporation will not allow the community the chance to sit at the table and help make decisions for the platform, and therefore, we now get decisions like this that are just fucking clueless. They're made by people who obviously do not make or consume YouTube content, and it just harms everybody. So, unfortunate circumstances, but YouTube is going to be YouTube, and that's just where we are with it. So, and with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. I just revamped my entire merch store, new designs, new clothes. Also, my new book is available there. Make sure to check that out down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus. Well, I guess gonna watch my view counts disappear and signing out. And that's a wrap on this video, but big shout out to my Optimus Nation supporters. You guys are the real MVPs. For $10 a month, you get access to loads of exclusive videos and archived live streams, my members only Minecraft server where you can possibly appear in gameplay, early access to all new uploads, an invitation to the private Discord, and much more.